Alright, let me be direct. This is a video on why you should drive for Uber or evangelism. First, it's easier to talk to strangers about religion than to friends or relatives because there's no baggage, there's no history, arguments, there's nothing to prove, there's nothing that you've argued about before to build on or to win or to revenge on, you know? It's just a friendly discussion. When even if it's not friendly, it's okay, they're strangers. They're not gonna come to your house, they're not gonna come to your next family gathering. You might never see them again. So with a stranger, heck, it's okay to argue or talk about uncomfortable things. Second, they know that an Uber or Lyft driver is different from a taxi. They know that you're just like them. You might actually have a side job. And so if you're in an equal playing field, you're no one better or worse, you're the same. And so they're more sociable with Lyft or Uber drivers. You got everything? Alright, good night. Good night. I just dropped off Travis. I had a good talk with him. Let me finish this ride. And thirdly, people expect to talk to the Uber or Lyft driver. I mean, it's natural. Actually, one guy complained to me that his first two Uber drivers didn't talk to him. Like, maybe there was something wrong. So it's natural to expect to talk to the driver. So it's very, think about it. It's awkward, no matter how social you are, it's awkward to walk up to someone at a park or a street corner or at the mall. It's like, hi, do you want to talk about God? But here, you're already talking about random stuff, like what do you do for work? What do you do on the weekends? What do you think about the Dodgers? And so you could easily turn that conversation into something more deeper. But still, either way, it's very natural to have conversations with the Uber or Lyft driver. Fourth, as I was saying, it's pretty easy to go from superficial conversations about the weather or the Lakers and talk about more meaningful things. Like, what do you do on the weekends? And they say they go to the beach or whatever, and they ask you, what do you do on the weekends? Well, I go to church. And you can from then talk about what you do at church. So it's not that hard to go from a superficial conversation to a more meaningful conversation, especially in the car. I mean, they're not gonna walk away, right? And fifth, you get to meet so many people, so many kinds of people that you wouldn't normally see at church or your circle of friends. I've met a Muslim astrologist. I've met an astrophysicist, an atheist, a Trump hater, a Trump supporter. All different kinds of people from all walks of life, religions, from Catholicism to Buddhist. I mean, how often are you going to meet and talk to people from all these different backgrounds? So being an Uber or Lyft driver gives you that opportunity to talk to them and also understand where they're coming from and just practice talking to people with different backgrounds and different views, different beliefs. Plus, people are more willing to talk about religious topics because they know there's a time limit, like when the ride ends. They know this topic is not going to go on for an hour. It's not going to go even past 15 minutes because they're going to get off and they'll never see you again. And they may never have to talk about this again. There's no excess baggage, no lingering thoughts. I mean, the conversation is going to be done soon. So hey, what the heck? Let's go for it. Let's just talk about these things that may be uncomfortable, that may be controversial, that may be different from yours. Let's talk about this. And you know what? The discussion could be friendly, could be fun. It's not a bad thing, actually. But yeah, because of the time limit, people are more willing to talk about it. Let's be open. Let's discuss. And if I don't like this conversation, hey, it's done in a few minutes. Or you might say, well, I'm not an extrovert. I'm not very sociable. Well, you know what? I'm an introvert myself. The thing is, the good thing about this is there's a fast learning curve. You could talk to 10 people per day as practice. You could start talking about the weather, talk about anything, any issues, talk about family, and become more natural at it. You could try out different openings on how to veer a conversation to more spiritual things. And so you could practice these things, and each practice can only be like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. You could practice and fail many times, And eventually you'll get used to it. You'll get in the groove. And you know what? It doesn't take weeks and months. Maybe just a few days of doing this, 10 people per day or whatever. And you'll get quite natural at talking to strangers about very important things. And you can't get this kind of exposure or experience from a church seminar or a church retreat or a book. I mean, this kind of evangelism practice and this kind of evangelism, there is no substitute. You're in the real world, doing real life with real people. And real people can't be put into a box. They're different. And they have really weird or different backgrounds that books don't talk about. So if you want to learn how to talk to people about Jesus Christ, if you want to share the gospel with real people, this is the best experience that you can get. Okay, maybe you're thinking, but I don't want another job. I don't want to be stuck with an Uber career. It's okay. You don't have to drive every day or every week or every month. You don't have to drive even if you don't want to. You could drive whenever you want. For me, I do this maybe 2 hours a week. There's no minimum. You could not drive if you don't want to. You can quit anytime. You can start anytime. There's no obligation. That's what's so great about this. And just now, I just had a meeting with Pastor Joey. And coming back home, I decided, hey, I'm going to put it in that I want to pick up rides on my way home. So I'm going this way anyway. Might as well have somebody pay for my gas. And better, I'll talk to people about Jesus on my way home. So there's no obligation. I'm not stuck with this job. I don't have to drive this if I don't want to. But when I want to, turn it on. Let's talk about Jesus. So if you want to know more about Uber Evangelism and what you need to do it, just click on the link below. See you soon.